Why is the United States actively preparing for a potential conflict in the Southern Caribbean? To understand this, we must examine the rapid reactivation of Cold War-era infrastructure that has remained dormant for decades. One of the clearest indicators is Roosevelt Roads Naval Station in Puerto Rico. Once the largest U.S. naval base on Earth, the facility was officially shut down in 2004. Now, intelligence and logistical activity suggest it is being aggressively brought back online. What was once a civilian redevelopment zone is quietly transforming into a forward operating base capable of sustaining major combat operations. Then there's Henry E. Rolson Airport in the U.S. Virgin Islands. This is no longer just a tourist gateway. It is being converted into a high-capacity logistics hub designed to support heavy military airlift, armored cargo, and sustained force projection. So why is this happening now? There are two primary catalysts. First, Russia and China. Intelligence assessments indicate that Moscow and Beijing are not merely engaging Venezuela diplomatically. They are actively exploring the establishment of permanent military facilities. From Washington's perspective, this represents an existential red line, a direct challenge to the Monroe Doctrine that cannot be tolerated. Second, oil. And yes, the groundwork for conflict is already visible. U.S. Coast Guard helicopters have been observed intercepting and seizing oil tankers departing Venezuelan waters. This is not symbolic enforcement, it is economic strangulation. The regime's revenue streams are being deliberately choked off before any large-scale kinetic action begins. So, if hostilities erupt, what naval forces are already positioned near Puerto Rico? The U.S. Navy has assembled a deliberate and layered kill chain. At the forefront is the USS Jason Dunham, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer whose role extends far beyond missile defense. This ship is a full-spectrum electronic warfare platform, tasked with jamming Venezuelan communications, disrupting command networks, and blinding coastal radar systems. Its mission is confusion, paralysis, and information dominance, the opening shock of the campaign. Alongside it is the USS Stockdale, serving as the shield. Outfitted with the Aegis combat system, its responsibility is to intercept and destroy any anti-ship missiles launched in retaliation. It exists to protect the fleet from aerial and missile-based counterstrikes. But how do we know this is more than a blockade? The answer lies with the USS Iwo Jima. This massive amphibious assault ship is not deployed unless boots on the ground are part of the plan. Designed to launch waves of Marines onto hostile shores, its presence signals preparation for land operations, not mere containment. The operation doesn't stop in the north. The United States is also leveraging Trinidad and Tobago to seal Venezuela's southern escape routes. U.S. naval forces are using these waters to enforce a blockade of the Gulf of Paria. Standing guard is the USS Gravely, acting as a vigilant hunter-killer. Its mission is to ensure no Venezuelan submarines or fast attack craft slip into the Atlantic to threaten international shipping lanes. Above all of this sits the USS Lake Erie, a Ticonderoga-class cruiser that functions as the command nerve center of the operation. It serves as the air defense commander, orchestrating the movement of every ship, aircraft, and missile from a state-of-the-art combat information center. But naval power alone is too slow for a decisive opening blow. That's where air power takes over. B-52 Stratofortress bombers won't even touch Caribbean soil. They will launch directly from the continental United States, unleash massive salvos of cruise missiles, and return home without ever landing forward. Complementing them are B-1 Lancer bombers, used for rapid, high-speed penetration strikes. Flying low and fast, they are designed to obliterate hardened targets before the enemy can react. So, where will tactical air operations originate? This is why Roosevelt Roads in Ceiba, Puerto Rico is so critical. It places strike aircraft just minutes from Venezuelan airspace. MQ-9 Reaper drones will loiter overhead for hours, tracking mobile missile launchers and eliminating them with Hellfire missiles the moment they relocate. Meanwhile, F-35s will act as the door kickers, stealthily penetrating defended airspace to dismantle S-300 air defense systems and clear the skies for follow-on forces. Speed and flexibility come from the V-22 Osprey. These tilt-rotor aircraft will deploy from both the USS Iwo Jima and Puerto Rico, inserting special operations teams deep behind enemy lines. Fueling this relentless tempo are KC-130 tankers, orbiting near the combat zone to keep fighters airborne for extended durations without returning to base. Coordination with opposition forces inside Venezuela marks a critical phase of the operation. At sea, a nuclear-powered attack submarine moves silently and undetected along Venezuela's maritime approaches. Operating covertly beneath the surface, it gathers vital intelligence by intercepting communications and monitoring naval movements in real time. From the shadows, it possesses the ability to launch sudden, long-range missile strikes capable of crippling regime command and control centers, disrupting air defense networks, or destroying hardened military facilities without warning. Its presence alone serves as a powerful deterrent. Any attempt by third-party naval forces from countries such as Russia or Iran to reinforce the Maduro regime would be immediately complicated, if not outright neutralized, by the submarine's unseen dominance. Above the sea, P-8 Poseidon aircraft dramatically expand the task force's situational awareness. These platforms act as the fleet's eyes and ears, conducting continuous intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions deep into Venezuelan airspace and territorial waters. They track air defense installations, troop movements, naval deployments, and cartel-linked smuggling operations with relentless precision. Working in tight coordination with surface ships and submarines, the Poseidons designate targets for missile strikes, monitor hostile submarine activity, and execute electronic warfare missions designed to disrupt Venezuelan communications and fracture command networks, severely limiting the regimes to respond effectively. But why does a single submarine represent such a catastrophic threat to an entire navy? The answer lies in its torpedoes. Here's how the system works. First, pressurized air launches the torpedo from the submarine's tube. Next, an internal piston engine engages, driving propellers that rapidly accelerate the weapon. As it advances, the torpedo trails a guidance wire connected directly to the submarine's combat systems, allowing constant course corrections using live targeting data. It then reaches speeds of approximately 32 knots, covering distances of up to 12 kilometers. As it closes in on its target, the guidance wire is severed, and the torpedo's onboard sonar assumes full control. If the initial attack fails, the weapon can circle back, actively hunting its target using autonomous sonar tracking. Each torpedo carries an explosive yield equivalent to roughly 1,200 pounds of TNT, an impact no surface vessel can withstand. And intelligence reports suggest that newer variants, including advanced Barracuda or supercavitating torpedoes, may soon enhance this already devastating capability. So how would Venezuela attempt to counter U.S. dominance at sea? Facing a technologically superior adversary, the Venezuelan military and cartel networks would likely rely on a hybrid defense strategy, blending conventional forces with asymmetric warfare. Though smaller and less advanced, the Venezuelan military leverages intimate knowledge of local geography, layered air defense systems, and mass militia mobilization, reportedly exceeding 4.5 million personnel, to resist amphibious landings and defend critical infrastructure. Coastal patrols and naval assets would challenge U.S. maritime operations, while missile systems threaten approaching aircraft and ships. Meanwhile, powerful drug cartels, deeply intertwined with elements of the military, would exploit their mastery of terrain, fast attack boats, and smuggling corridors to complicate U.S. interdiction efforts. Their tactics include evading surveillance through irregular routes, blending seamlessly with civilian traffic, and using dense jungle terrain as cover against raids and targeted strikes. The likely conflict scenario, therefore, unfolds as a layered U.S. campaign combining aerial surveillance, naval interdiction, submarine strikes, and precision missile attacks aimed at degrading regime infrastructure and response capacity. Amphibious forces would move decisively to seize strategic locations, suppress resistance, and isolate Maduro loyalists. In response, Venezuela would attempt to sustain a hybrid defense, mixing conventional resistance, militia-driven asymmetric warfare, and cartel-enabled illicit operations to slow U.S. advances and prolong the conflict. This confrontation reflects the core strategic priorities of both sides. The United States seeks to dismantle narcotics networks and apply regime change pressure through overwhelming technological and tactical superiority. Venezuela, by contrast, relies on numerical manpower, terrain familiarity, and asymmetric methods to offset its disadvantage in firepower and advanced systems. And then there is Russia. Moscow is likely to support Venezuela by supplying long-range loitering drones such as the Shahed and Giron platforms. Thank you guys, see you next video.